Welcome to this session. Today we are going to discuss some more examples on trees and rooted trees. So here, prove that in a tree, two or more vertices, there are at least two leaves. That means in any tree which is having more than two vertices, there is at least two leaves will be there. So now we are going to consider a tree which is having more than two vertices. Then by the property, it is having n-1 edges. n-1 edges. Then the sum of the degrees of n vertices must be equal to 2 into n-1. So that is nothing but each and every, that is if d1, d2 and so on dn are the degrees of vertices of T, then d1 plus d2 plus and so on plus dn is equals to 2 into n-1. That is nothing but 2n-2. Each degree, if we are taking d1, d2 and so on, dn is greater than or equals to 2, then the sum must be at least 2n. So each d1 is greater than or equals to 2, d2 is greater than or equals to 2, and so on. dn is greater than or equals to 2. Subsequently, the sum will be d1, d2, and so on. dn, which is greater than or equals to 2n. Which is greater than or equals to 2n. Since this is not true, at least one of the di's is less than 2n. Is less than 2. See, each and every degree, if I am considering like this, then I am going to get is greater than or equals to 2n. But we have the sum of the degrees of all vertices is nothing but 2n-2. So that means at least one or more than one vertex degree is less than 2. Is less than 2. Subsequently, we can consider if d1 is degree is 1 and d2 is degree is 1, then I can consider d3. Suppose d1 is 1, then I am going to get like this. And next d2 is equals to then d1, d2. If I am going to take d3, d4 plus and so on plus dn is greater than or equals to 2n-1 minus 1. So what I am going to say is 2n-2. 2n-2 which is equals to, so I am just considering 2 into n-1. So here I am just considering d1 and d2 degrees of these two vertices. Degrees of these two vertices must be equal to 1. Then only this is going to be true. So d1, d2 vertices degree, vertices v1, v2 degrees are d1, d2. Then whose degree is equal to 1, which is nothing but those vertices are nothing but leaves. Those vertices are nothing but leaves. So here any tree if we are considering which is having more than two vertices, definitely it is having two edges, because any edge if I am going to consider, it produces the degree is 2. Degree is 2. One is from where the edge is passing to, and another degree is from where it reaches to. So each edge will produce degree 2. So there are n-1 edges. So n-1 edges means it produces 2 into n-1. The sum of the degrees, the edge, sum of the degrees of all vertices is 2 into n-1. If I am taking all the vertices degrees is equal to 2, that means greater than or equal to 2, whatever it is, then we are going to get the sum is greater than or equals to 2n. But we require sum is 2 into n-1. So at least two vertices degree is less than 2. That means if I am taking the whose vertices, let us say v1 and v2 vertices degrees are 1, 1 if I am going to consider, then those vertices will become the pendant vertices of that particular tree. Now here another example. Show that in a tree, if the degree of every pendant vertex is 3, then the number of vertices in the tree is even. Say, if the degree of every non-pendant vertex, if the degree of every non-pendant vertex is 3, then the number of vertices in the tree is even. So here let us consider n be the number of vertices where the tree is having. The tree is having n number of vertices. So in that, let us say there are k pendant vertices will be there. Total number of vertices are n. So there are n pendant vertices means there are k leaf nodes will be there. Then the remaining intermediate nodes are n minus k. Intermediate nodes are n minus k. Non-pendant vertices are n minus k. So each and every non-pendant vertex degree is 3. So we are considering it as 3. And pendant vertices, there are k pendant vertices. Each one degree is equals to 1. So 1 into k. So this is nothing but the sum of the degrees of the vertices, and it should be equal to 2 into n minus 1. 2 into n minus 1. So then we are going to simplify. 2n minus 2 is equals to 3n minus 3k plus k. So subsequently we can get this is minus 3n minus 2k and is equals to 2n minus 2. So which is nothing but just we are going to consider it as n. This is minus n is equals to minus 2k plus 2. So n is equals to, this is minus 2 into k minus 1. So this is minus n. So the total number of vertices are 2 into k minus 1. So the total number of vertices, whatever the k value is, we are going to multiply with the 2. So we can say that it is an even number. So this is the way that we are going to prove the total number of vertices must be even whenever any tree which is having intermediate vertices of degree 3, then it is having the total number of vertices in the tree is even. Now let us go for the other one. Suppose that a tree T has 2 vertices of degree 2. T is having 2 vertices of degree 2, 4 vertices of degree 3, and next and 3 vertices of degree 4. Find the number of pendant vertices. So we have to find number of pendant vertices. So here we are going to assume that the number of pendant vertices must be n. So T is having n pendant vertices. So it is given that T has 2 vertices of degree 2, 4 vertices of degree 3, and 3 vertices of degree 4. Then the total number of vertices are, pendant vertices are n, and 2 is nothing but the vertices degree 2, vertices degrees are 2, and next 4, and next 3. So subsequently we can get n plus 9. N plus 9 is nothing but the total number of vertices. Now, the sum of the degrees of all vertices, must be equal to, there are n pendant vertices, pendant vertex degree is 1, and next there are 2 vertices of degree 2, there are 4 vertices of degree 3, there are 3 vertices of degree 4. So this is nothing but the sum of the degrees of all vertices. So subsequently we can get n plus 4 plus 12 plus 12. Subsequently we are going to get n plus 28. So how many vertices it is having? N plus 9 vertices it is having. How many edges it is having? This is. So it is nothing but just how many edges if a tree is having n number of vertices, how many edges it is having? N minus 1 edges. So it is having n plus 1 minus 1 edges. So that is nothing but n plus 8 edges. N plus 8 edges. By handshaking property, each and every edge degrees, the sum of the degrees of all vertices must be equal to 2 into n plus 8. 2 into n plus 8. Subsequently, if you are going to simplify n plus 28, which is equals to 2n plus 16, so it is 28 minus 16 is equals to n. So we are going to get n is equals to 12 pendant vertices. N is equals to 12 pendant vertices. So there are 12 pendant vertices will be there if the corresponding degree sequence of these vertices are like this. Of these vertices are like this. Now let us go for the other example. Suppose that a tree T has n1 vertices of T has n1 vertices of degree 1 and it is having n2 vertices of degree 2 and it is having n3 vertices of degree 3 and so on. If it is having nk vertices of degree k, then we have to prove that n1 is equals to this one. n1 is equals to this we have to prove. So here, what is the sum of the degrees of all vertices? Sum of the degrees of all vertices is 1 into n1 plus 2 into n2 plus 3 into n3 plus and so on plus k into nk. K into nk is nothing but the sum of the degrees of all vertices. So it is nothing but just we are going to consider. So which is equals to 2 into number of vertices minus 1. What is the number of vertices? n1 plus n2 plus n1 plus n2 plus and so on plus nk minus 1 into 2. These many edges it is having. Into 2. So next we are going to rearranging this. So 2n1 plus 2n2 then plus and so on plus 2nk minus 2 is equals to this. So if I am going to rearranging this and subsequently we are going to get like this. Then n1 is equals to, I am sending 2 to this side, then we are going to get the required result. Now, another concept, let us rooted trees. A directed tree, T is called a rooted tree. If T contains the following two properties, satisfies two properties. One is T contains a unique vertex called a root whose in degree is equal to 0. And the in degree of all other vertices must be equal to 1. Whenever if it is satisfying these two conditions, then that directed tree is nothing but a rooted tree. Suppose if I am going to consider, I am going to take like this one directed tree. I am going to consider this. So here, we are going to consider which is like this. Let us consider this is a tree, is a directed tree. So, okay. So here what is the condition is one vertex, a unique vertex whose in degree is equals to 0. So what about the in degree vertices here? These are in degree vertices of these three are also 0. And next, what about the in degree of other vertices must be equal to 1. But whereas here the in degree of this vertex is not equal to 1. So we are saying that it is not a rooted tree. This is not a rooted tree. So this is, let us, I am considering figure A. So which is not a rooted tree. Not a rooted tree. Suppose if I am considering, let us say, another one. If I am going to consider like this, and I am going to consider a tree is like this. So now observe this. This is a rooted directed arcs will be there towards downwards. And now here let us say it is a graph B. And now here what is the one vertex whose in degree is equals to 0. This vertex in degree is 0. So we are calling this vertex as a root node. As a root node. And the remaining all the vertices in degree. What about the in degree of this vertex is 1? This in degree of the vertex is 1. This in degree is 1. And this in degree is 1. And this in degree is 1. So whatever the vertex you are going to consider, whose in degree is equals to 1. So we can say that this directed graph, this directed tree is known as a rooted tree. This is known as a rooted tree. So now whenever if you are going to consider any rooted tree, then we are going to follow some of the basic terminology. So what is a root is nothing but a binary tree has a unique node called the root node of the tree. And next, what is a left child? A node to the left. A node to the left of the root node is known as a left child. This is a root node. For this, we are considering a left. That means the node to the left of the root. Left of the root is known as a left child. A node which is of the right side. So, right of the root node is called right child. And next, parent, a node which is having a left child or right child or both. A node which is having left child or right child or both, that is known as a parent node. So this we are considering it as a parent node. This we are considering it as a parent node. Now, the siblings, two nodes are having the same parent. Two nodes are having the same parent. Then they are called siblings. And now, what is a leaf? A node which is no children is called a leaf. The number of leaves in a binary tree can vary from 1 to half of the number of vertices in a tree. Now, what are the descendants? So here a node is called descendant of another node if it is the child of the node or child of some other descendants of the nodes. All the nodes in the tree are descendants of the nodes, descendants of the root node. And left subtree, so whatever the subtree whose root is a left child of some other node is called left subtree of the node. And right subtree, the subtree whose root is the right child of some node is called the right subtree of the node. And levels, if you are considering level of a node, the level of a node is nothing but the distance from the root. Distance from the root. The level of a root is defined as 0. The level of other nodes is 1 more than its parent node. The maximum number of node of any level of n, level n is 2 to the power of n. 2 to the power of n. And so level of node is nothing but the distance from the root node. Distance from the root node. So like that there are the maximum number of nodes. If any tree is having n, then the maximum number of nodes of any level n is 2 to the power of n nodes. 2 to the power of n nodes. What is the depth or height of a tree? The depth or height of a tree is defined the maximum number of nodes in a branch of a tree. In a branch of a tree. This is more than maximum level of a tree. So now what is the external nodes? The nodes which are having no children, is called external nodes or terminal nodes or terminal node. And now internal nodes, the nodes which have one or more children are called internal nodes or non-terminal nodes. So these are some of the basic terminologies of a rooted trees. Now based on this we are going to I'm going to explain all these things by just giving one example. So here this is a rooted tree, and now I am just to find out which node is a root node and which nodes are leaf nodes, and next what are the parents nodes. So here the root node A is denoted as a root node. Next, which nodes are leaves? So here this node is a leaf and this node is leaf, and L is leaf, M is leaf, N and Q these are our leaves. And now the name of the parent of each node. So if I am considering parent of BC, A is the parent. So parent of DEF, DE, parent of DE is B, and parent of F is C, and parent of GH is D, parent of IJ is E, parent of K is F, and next parent of LM is J, parent of NO is K. So in this way we can identify what is the root node, what is the leaf node, and what are the parents nodes. Suppose if I am going to consider, so another one is, let us take, I am just taking R is the root node. Let us, I am going to consider V1 and V2 are two vertices, and next V3 is another vertex, and next V4, let us take V4 is another vertex, and next V5, V6 and V6 are other vertex, and next V7 is the another one, and next V8, V9 and V9. So let us, I am just to consider one rooted tree. So here V1 and V2 R is the root node. So root node is what we are considering, level is 0. Root node level is 0. And next one is V1 and V2 level is 1. And V3, V4 level is 2. And V5, V6, V7 level is 3. And V8, V9 is level is 4. So it is nothing but the distance is V5, V8, V9 level is 9. So we can say that the height of a tree is 4. Or we can say that the depth of the tree is also 4. So here V1 is the ancestor of V3. V1 is the ancestor of V3, V5, V6. So V1 is the ancestor of V3, V5, V6. And moreover, so here V2 is ancestor of V4, V7, V8, V9. Or we can say that V4, V7, V8, V9 are descendants of V1. See here, it's not V1, V2. It is V2. And V3, V5, V6 are descendants of V1. So V1 is the ancestor of V3, V5, V6, or V2 is the ancestor of V4, V7, V8, V9, or we can say that V4, V7, V8, V9 are descendants of V2. And next, V1 is the parent of V3, and V3 is the child of V1. and V5, V6, which are having children of V3, so we can say that there are siblings. And similarly, V8, V9 are siblings. V8, V9 are siblings. Okay. And next, V5, V6, V8, V9 are leaves. V5, V6, V8, V9 are leaves. Other than the leaves, other than the root node, the remaining are internal vertices. Internal vertices. All other are internal vertices. Now, what is a M-array tree? What is a M-array tree? So here, M-array tree is a rooted tree. A rooted tree is said to be, is called M-array tree, if every vertex of T is out degree is less than or equal to M, that is, every vertex of tree T has at most M children. Suppose if I am going to consider, let us say, I am just taking one example. This is having 4 children. And now let us say this is having 2 children. And this is having, let us say, 3 children. And next, this is having, I am going to consider, okay, I am just taking 5 children. We are considering 5 children. And let us say this is having only 3 children. So here, what is the out degree of this vertex is maximum? A rooted tree T is called M-array tree if every vertex of T out degree is less than or equal to M. That means maximum out degree we are going to call with that name as M-array tree. So here, what is the maximum out degree of this vertex is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the remaining all, it is less than 5. This is 2 less than 5. This is 3 less than 5. This is also 4 less than 5, and so on. So we can call this as a M-array tree where M is equal to 5. This is a M-array tree, and where M is equal to 5. So we can call this as 5-array tree. So the maximum out degree, the maximum vertex out degree, whatever the out degree will be there, that out degree is M if it is there maximum. The remaining out degrees of all the vertices are less than or equal to M. Then we can say that the particular tree is M-array tree. And suppose if I am going to consider another one, a rooted tree is called, T is called complete M-array if every internal vertex of T out degree is M. Then we can say that that tree is complete M-array tree. Suppose if I am going to consider, let us say, I am just taking, this is one, it has 2 children, and now root node, this is having 2 children, and this is having 2 children. What is the out degree of the vertex is 2. Everywhere, here it is 2, here it is 2, here it is 2. So we can say that it is a complete 2-array tree. Suppose if I am going to consider, let us say another one is, so here I am just taking 3, vertex out degree is 3, vertex, then we are taking it as vertex out degree is 3, then, and I am going to consider another one is, let us say, this is a 3, and then I am just considering this is a tree, and then I am going to consider this is a tree, and then I am considering this is a tree. This is also, you can say that it is a complete, and next 3-array tree. So here the maximum out degree we are going to consider, whereas here the each and every node out degree is less than out degree equal to m. So this is a m array tree. Now what is a binary tree? What is a binary tree? So a binary tree is a rooted tree in which each node is has at most two children. At most two children. Each child in a binary tree is designated as either a left child or a right child. That means a binary tree is a rooted tree in which each node has at most two children. Has at most two children. Maximum is only two children. Suppose if I am considering a tree is like this. So it is having two children. It is having two children. And this is having only one child. So it is known as a binary tree. Suppose any tree, if I am going to consider, this is having, let us say, three children. Then this is having, let us say, two children. So here each and every node at most two children. At most two children. Each and every node is having at most two children. But here this is having three children. So it is not a binary tree. This is not a binary tree. So now this is next another one is full binary tree. What is meant by a full binary tree? A full binary tree is a tree in which each internal node has exactly two children. Each internal node has exactly two children. Suppose if I am going to consider like this, let us say each internal node has exactly two children. So here I am taking this, I am going to consider two children. Let us say this I am going to consider two children. See, this is the internal node. This is the internal node. Internal nodes will have exactly two children. And forget about the leaf node. Leaf node is not an internal node. Internal node. So this is known as a full binary tree. Full binary tree or strict binary tree. Strict binary tree. So now suppose if I am going to consider another one is like this. Let us say it is having two children and this is having two children, and if it is having only one child, left child, then this is not a full binary tree. This is a not full binary tree. Full binary tree. Because here each and every internal node has exactly two children. Has exactly two children. Now, a complete binary tree. A complete binary tree means all of the leaves of the binary tree are at level D. At level D. Then we call such a tree is a complete binary tree of depth D. Of depth D. Suppose if I am going to consider, let us say, so this is a complete binary. So here we are going to consider. So what is this? Level 0, level 0, and this is level 1, and this is level 2. What is this? All leaves of a full binary tree are at level D. All leaves are at level 2. Then we call such a tree is a complete binary tree of depth D, of depth 2. Of depth 2. Suppose if I am going to consider, let us say another tree is like this and it is having 2, and here this leaf node, it is a level 0 and it is level 1 and this is level 2. So all leaves are at this level is 2 but this level is 1 only. So it is not a complete binary tree. It is not a complete binary tree. So in this way we can classify the binary trees, either it is a complete binary tree or full binary tree. We are going to explain this. So with this I conclude this, and we'll meet in the next session. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.